And we are right back with the semifinals. We will see Lucky Cherries that we saw being so powerful, so dominating in the last round against Please Forfeit. Please Forfeit, we've seen them regularly on paddling pool and regularly pretty high in the tournament on paddling pool. I am Pat, still with Chili Boy. How are you, Chili?
I'm good, thank you, Pat. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I can't wait to watch a best of 5 between two very, very good teams.
Yeah, let's hope it's a bit of a longer set because we're having some pretty strong blowouts, aren't we? We've had a string of 2-0s and what are maybe a lot more close than the 2-0 kind of scoreboard looks like. But yeah, we're getting into the cream of the crop and the best performing teams tonight now. So I think we'll see a bit more adaptability between games and we'll see how people go. Very offensive compositions from both sides, with the exception of Yoshel running their classic E-liter. Very, very scary with that thing. They'll see what they can do to shut down what has been a very, very terrifying aggression from Lucky Cherries. But look at that, Yoshel! It's like they can hear me. They've immediately shut down what has been the overwhelming offense from Lucky Cherries last game. But those missiles from the reef slider, immediately denying Lucky Please Forfeit getting a push there.
Pika, you were in a 1v4 and suddenly 3 of them are down. How did you do that, Pika? And Pika right now is going to bring the super clam to the enemy basket. He's ready on the attack, not getting the opportunity to get in right there, and that's going to be a wipeout on the Lucky Cherries by Please Forfeit. Both teams so good.
I'm getting whiplash over how quick this is changing. Like, you have Yoshel going absolutely nuts and shutting Lucky Cherries down completely. Then Lucky Cherries get a wipeout off basically a reflux solo, and then Please Forfeit immediately recover again. So this is what I mean, folks. I do not expect games to be very one-sided as we get to this point, and we currently have very similar numbers on the map. Teams are starting to try and get power clams together and look for where they're going to get an opportunity for a big push. We're just trying to feel each other out right now. Mid is looking quite neutral. Yoshel is looking for their food, getting another beautiful set and a full wipeout. So Please Forfeit are going to get the first push here.
Yeah, that's going to be a basket opening. Please Forfeit advancing with another super clam. Please Forfeit trying to establish some control. They are getting quite a bit from that push. That's more than 60 points in favor of Please Forfeit. And Lucky Cherries finally back in mid, finally again on the attack, and they have yet to score a single point.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a very, I think, relatively even exchange in terms of back and forth. So I think Lucky Cherries have had some good numbers, but they just haven't quite been able to put that into a big push. However, now 2 down, basket broken, clams being spammed, 3 down on Please Forfeit now. So Lucky Cherries are in for a big push here if they can stall enough to recover some more clams. The basket keeps ticking down, Pat. I think we're going to be eating our words quite quickly.
Yeah, just 2 more clams and that's it. They take the lead. Such a big, 2 huge pushes, but right now Lucky Cherries are wiped, and Zenith under the enemy basket with the ball at the ready. That's going to be a push right away from Please Forfeit. They are not stopping, Chili.
3 down, jump with a clam. Oh, is it over?
What was that?
Whoa. I mean, I was just about to comment on how that shows how much Lucky Cherries weren't phased and how much they could adapt and just immediately push back. But then we just see Please Forfeit do the exact same back to them. I mean, that was incredible offensive gameplay from both sides. Yeah, I mean, what was really impressive from Please Forfeit there is as soon as they got that wipeout, they did not waste any time. They were immediately really deep into Lucky Cherries territory. So as soon as Lucky Cherries probably thought they had some breathing room to respawn, Please Forfeit were already on them and it was over.
Yeah, that back and forth was like next level whiplash. It was like getting hit in the face with a truck over and over from left and right. That was so fast, so powerful, but that means the Lucky Cherries get to counterpick, and they're counterpicking Inkblot Art Academy on tower control.
Yeah, they did not waste any time at all counter-picking to this, so I think they must have a really, really clear game plan for this map mode. They look like they've already locked in their composition as well, so up to Please Forfeit now to think about their comps and to think about if they want to adapt in any way, but based on how well they performed there, I'd be surprised if they changed much about their gameplay. That was that's the first time I think I've seen Lucky Cherries have their own aggression met with equal confidence. I think Lucky Cherries play as such a confident team in their abilities, and Please Forfeit, I think, equally not phased at all by Lucky Cherries, and yeah, did incredible there. So let's see how it goes. Lucky Cherries will not be down and out off the back of that, and they're very confident in this map. We see a Nova. Interesting.
Lucky Cherries not stopping, and Pika switching away from the Reflux in favor of the Nova, and that's a Pika thing.
Yeah, I think this is maybe not so much a testament that these weapons are viable as much as Pika is viable at top level play with with whatever they want, really. Beautiful bob and weaving by Cass here. Amazing play by them. A wipeout on Lucky Cherries' part, and Please Forfeit already all on the tower. Yoshel anchoring, looking to snipe people as they leave spawn. Cass looks like they're building another bubbler up, and a wave break is about to come out onto Lucky Cherries' plat. Again, this is a very, very strong opening, although Lucky Cherries adapting a lot better this time.
Yeah, Lucky Cherries, again, on the defense, it's like they used to be the one being aggressors, but against Please Forfeit it's not working because they are the ones running at you and getting the splats. And Yoshel closing the deal with that charger.
I mean, Yoshel, I know I mentioned at the beginning of the first game that how would Yoshel do here as a charger against such an offensive comp? I think we're seeing that they are just so good with that weapon. They know how to adapt accordingly, and they're not being passive either. Like, Yoshel's been pretty deep, threatening people right as they're leaving spawn, and it has paid off absolute dividends. Right now, Pika, the last alive on the Nova, I don't think they're going to be getting a quad like they did with the Reflux, but they are jumping out with the whale at the ready, which was a smart decision. Going to do everything they can to small Please Forfeit's progress here, but with that big bubbler on the tower, Lucky Cherries having a really hard time shutting this down.
Yeah, it looks like Please Forfeit is constantly there, and they are on their way to get that second checkpoint, unless the Blaster manages to have something to say about it, and it looks like the Lucky Cherries are finally able to get some control. They have yet to really establish something before they can get in, and that pick by Crim is going to maybe do it, and that Inkjet very up high is going to allow them to move forward. Pika with the Nova getting that checkpoint, and it looks like Lucky Cherries are finally getting something their way.
Yeah, and not even just their way a little bit. This looks a really, really orange map right now until the incredible snipe, and we can't finish a sentence, Pat, without the match changing. Yep. This is how good it is. What I was going to comment on is Please Forfeit. Given how long their push was, they really struggled to push quite far. I think Lucky Cherries, you know, as much as they were struggling, they were halting progress. Lucky Cherries have actually managed to take a lead, and only by pushing to 50, so 2 minutes on the clock. This game is completely to play for. This could go absolutely either team's way right now.
A lead, but no second checkpoint, and the team that manages to get that second checkpoint will have a great option on the victory right now, because they will just have to defend. And right now, Aloha getting a trade with the jetpack. It's just Mosh versus Cass, and Mosh is going to get it, but the rest of the team managing to jump in. That means nobody can really move forward right now, and that's in favor of Lucky Cherries with just a minute and a half left.
Every time I look at the scoreboard, Pat, there's like 4 or 5 people down across the 8 players. It is just such an aggressive match. It is a constant picks and revenge plays, but Crim looking like they are seeing if they can make a really aggressive flank here, which is started to go quite well, and then they've been punished as they've dropped. So right now, Please Forfeit doing everything they can to try and get a lead. They don't need to push too far. They need 3 more points than they've got. Zenith trying to shut down the wiper, I believe, managing to do so, but unfortunately, 3 down on Please Forfeit. Lucky Cherries are doing such a good job of stopping Please Forfeit's pushes, despite how aggressive they're playing. It's quite impressive.
Yeah, it feels like the Zipcaster by Zenith was just a tad bit late, not able to really help the team. Lucky Cherries managed to get the splat so early on that that Zipcaster could not ensure the lead. It was just a bit too late. And right now it looks like Lucky Cherries on the attack, still maintaining that aggressivity, and that's what you want to see.
That was quite interesting with Marsh. I feel like we were watching the thought process live there about how to best to make that stamp play. They've had some amazing stamps these past few matches, but that one did get shut down. Lucky Cherries with a full white, and look how orange mid is, Pat. This is going to be quite a hard recovery for Please Forfeit, I think. And yep. Lucky Cherries managing to assert themselves and equalise the scoreboard, but it wasn't easy for them. Please Forfeit made them work really hard for that win.
Yeah, 1-1, and these two teams are the kind of teams that you would see go 1-1 versus each other. What a good set, but that means we are going to go to Please Forfeit's counterpick now. And what do you counterpick against a team that's as aggressive as you are? Like, these two teams, it feels like these two teams are going to enjoy the exact same map.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially with Pika, that can pretty much use any weapon and be completely insane with it. You can't really anticipate anything.
Yeah, Pika seems like a Swiss Army knife of all of the weapons that people are skeptical about, and I kind of love their confidence with it. I mean, maybe a big factor in that last match was how good the Nova paints and how well the Nova exposes where players are, because it did seem like Lucky Cherries were able to stop Please Forfeit in a lot of aggressive situations. They are going to be going to Splat Zone's Hagglefish, so again, perfect map for this offensive chaos that we've been seeing. But I think you're right, Pat. I think there's not really a counter pick here that isn't also going to be of interest to the other team's playstyle, because we've got some very, very similar approaches that both these teams are playing. So I think it is just going to come down to the maps that both teams feel most confident on, or feel their approach is most well rehearsed, really.
I mean, this is a map where your shell with the Eliter can be such a menace if Lucky Cherries doesn't manage to really contest them. So if your shell gets in position and gets a snipe at you, these could go Please Forfeit's way very, very fast. And I think that's their plan.
I think it will be. It feels like both these teams have incredible potential to snowball, because they just have that killer instinct that you get at that high level of play, where you know when you've got that opening, you know when you can commit to a fight that is in your favour. And we've seen both teams just demonstrate some really graceful but really aggressive offensive approaches. So we are going to see very similar compositions. Pico is back to the reflux that took out 3 players before, and we've got QR builds out the wazoo, it looks like, on Lucky Cherries' part, which does make sense with how they tend to play.
Yeah, and Krim with the Slosher Deco. And that's going to go right down. It looks like Lucky Cherries is... Oh, well, never mind. They get the trades, and that's going to be the zone going in favor of Lucky Cherries. I did not see that coming. And Zenith. Zenith getting so much with that ultra stamp.
Who throws a hammer that close range? The confidence you have to throw a hammer in someone's face like that, but it worked. I mean, Please Forfeit getting the first aggressive push here, forcing players really on Lucky Cherries' part to just have to fight to get out of spawn. Not many places that are safe. Krim with some really crisp movement here. Looks like they're doing everything they can to get a penalty, and with 2 down, they're going to manage it. That was really good intuition for Krim to know when it was safe to drop. So Please Forfeit now going to have to respond with their own defensive maneuvers. But as we've seen, Pat, this is going to just be a constant back and forth again.
Yeah, constant back and forth. Already 2 players down on the side of Lucky Cherries. The missiles are going to come, trying to deter that Inkjet, but the Inkjet is going to get the zones for Please Forfeit. And right now, Pika getting a shot with the reflux. it's just you, Pika, and you are getting the wipe out. Please forfeit. They already have the lead and they don't have that much penalty right now. They're about to score a lot of points with Yoshel being in position, being there with the Eliter.
That camera angle of the Ultra Stamp just steamrolling through the Reflux was just absolutely beautiful to watch. I think people do forget, though, the Reflux did get a buff in a recent patch, and it did make its effective one-shot range a little bit more viable and the one-shot easier to get. And Pika just did a beautiful job shutting down your shell there when they had the opportunity. That being said, please forfeit. They have done so well. Look how much this map is in their favour, and if they're not careful, Lucky Cherries are going to be out, and they're going to have to really think through their counter pick now because they are on tournament stock.
Yeah. Lucky Cherries 1 game away from going home. Please forfeit. 1 game away from finals. And that has been... That tends to be the question now, because the game on Lucky Cherries counter pick was pretty close, but on Please Forfeit's counter pick, that was so commanding for Please Forfeit. Please Forfeit have shown that they know what they're doing. They are choosing their counter pick so well and really winning on it. And
I mean, Please Forfeit are a really well-known team in the sense that they also do the tournament grind very heavily and often place very, very well. So it's not too surprising that they're doing well, but I think to have such a strong game against Lucky Cherries, that is not a feat that most teams can achieve. Lucky Cherries are really, really strong, so it does speak to how good Please Forfeit have got at this game.
Yes, and Lucky Cherries is going to go for Undertow Spillway on Rainmaker, and I expect to see that Reflux coming back because missiles on this map are such a pain to dodge.
Oh yeah, not even just a pain to dodge, which they absolutely are, but also it's so easy to get missiles on this map. You have so much ground to work with, and Pika will probably be raining hell for the majority of this match. Sorry to read in the Twitch chat as well, folks, that we're having a few issues with the stream. Do remember that Dapples does upload the VODs of all the tournaments as well to their YouTube, so hopefully we will have a quality re-upload of that if you are missing any details of this game because of some of the slight stream stutters. Majora, of course, will be doing everything they can to make that as viable as possible for people. But yeah, we're straight back in there. Do we have the Reflux? We do, so Pika... I reckon we're going to see missiles in the first 10-11 seconds here.
Yep, and it looks like the Eliter is going away. Yoshel picking the ballpoint Slatling instead. Is going to get picked up though. Lucky Cherries 4 versus 2 right now, and Krim is going to get a trade. That's a delayed wipe, but the Rainmaker got stopped. That's very good for Please Forfeit. Lucky Cherries, they should still be able... Oh no, they are not getting the checkpoint, Chili.
Whoa, I mean, again, they just don't waste any time moving up. That was a beautiful squid roll from Marsh that has allowed them to break the checkpoint before going down there. So that opens up a lot of options for Lucky Cherries in terms of how they want to aggress for their next push. Please Forfeit with their comp change, I do think is a good idea for them. Like having the ends up instead of the Elite just gives them a lot more mobility and gives them a bit more of a chance to contest Lucky Cherries' aggression and like head to head, whilst also giving them more movement on the pushes. So I think it's a good composition change and choice. Yoshel using the ballpoint, of course, they're very, very strong with that weapon as well. However, they've not been able to quite get on the board yet. Lucky Cherries have been the ones dictating the pace of this game. Currently 3-3, and Yoshel trying to find an opening, but getting shut down quite heavily there. But it is a wipeout, so they're going to get a chance to move forward again.
Yes, Please Forfeit finally getting some breathing room, and that wipeout means they should be able to move forward into Lucky Cherry territory. They are already right there, ready to get that checkpoint. They are super sweet. Marsh, sorry.
Cass's movement with the Rainmaker there was really good intuition. It's but just good responses from Lucky Cherries' colleagues backing each other up, managing to make it very hard here for Please Forfeit to get the checkpoint. They're doing everything they can now to do so. Will they manage it? They will, so we've got a relatively even game, except that was a delayed wipe, so it's not going to be an even game at all. Please Forfeit are going to get a huge push here. Cass trying to use the terrain for a bit of cover while the Ultra Hammer goes out to give them some space. They go for a dunk and do not get it, but 8 is a huge push by Please Forfeit. So Lucky Cherries have a massive uphill battle, and yet here they are again.
That's a delayed wipe, but several delayed wipes right now. For Please Forfeit, and Please Forfeit are right there, just 3 points away from that KO and from battling pool finals. Lucky Cherries with such a defense right now, such a disparate defense, and it's just Zenith getting splatted in the spawn, and Lucky Cherries are alive, but not by much. They need so much to get back into this game.
Absolutely wild showing. Please Forfeit just turning up the aggression to 1 million there, and yeah, just completely on an absolute tear. Look at this map. There is a little bit of space in mid for Lucky Cherries to have movement, and other than that, they're on the back foot. Look how deep we have Aloha going here as well. This is just very, very scary, and I think we're also, Please Forfeit, showing the power of the Tacticooler on Rainmaker. The Tacticooler also about to get yet another buff. But yeah, I think just the Tacticooler meant every time Please Forfeit lost a player, they're just immediately back in the match, and that was just an incredible offensive onslaught. Lucky Cherries must be feeling the nerves now.
And after Lucky Cherries had such a strong opening on this map, it looks like Please Forfeit are invincible right now, and it's 2v2, but Rainmaker is stopped. Again, it's just the blaster on the side of Lucky Cherries surrounded by Ink. There's nothing you can do, and Please Forfeit back in control. Very happy to keep the Rainmaker there. I mean,
yeah, it's a relatively safe spot. I mean, with a team of Lucky Cherries caliber, I don't think anywhere truly feels safe to have the Rainmaker, to be honest. But it's going to reset into mid now. 2 players are going to go down on Please Forfeit's part. That was a good pop attempt, but it didn't quite take out the ends up. And now Aloha, amazing picks. That was really crucial there to stop Lucky Cherries having a scary push. That being said, Raze is still managing to move up, but Aloha comes from behind again with the Inkjet to support, and they are going to shut down that push. It looks like Marsh cowering for dear life from Aloha's Inkjet. I think that was really crucial, the picks Aloha got there.
Is Marsh sharking this? Oh, no longer. And that's going to be the cleanup by Please Forfeit. That means they are going to go to the finals, I think.
It does look like it. I mean, I think, yeah, that was such a good push when they got there. And Lucky Cherries, of course, an incredible team. Always very, very scary. Cherry Limeade, you know, known as a team for a reason. But yeah, that was just incredible stuff from Please Forfeit. Very, very good weapon changes to adapt to the situation. And Aloha spinning their Tri-Slosher around there. They just got such crucial picks to shut down Lucky Cherry's final push, and yeah, just incredible showing all round, really.
Yeah, these two teams so aggressive, but Please Forfeit just a little bit more aggressive, a little bit better. They are going to go to finals because of that. Congratulations to them, and that means we will be right back after a short break.
See you soon, folks.